Hey guys, it's Julie Malillo. I'm a life coach here in NYC. My website is yourdreamslifecoach.com. Are you a hunter or a farmer when it comes to your working style? This is so important to know because you can build your whole life around your work style and you will be happier and it will just work better and make more sense. And you also won't be beating yourself up all the time for trying to be some way that you're not. So let's go into what the two styles are like so you can figure out which one you are. And neither is better than the other, by the way. They're both awesome and they both have their own strengths. So the hunter, let's think of a tiger or a lion or something like that. How do they spend their day? They're mostly lying around, waiting, stalking, looking at their prey, waiting for the perfect moment, thinking, strategy, but most of the time they're not expending a lot of output. It's like 0% output because they are literally taking a nap or lying there or just waiting or stalking and watching. Then they attack. Now we're at 100% output, okay? So we're going from 0 to 100, 0 to 100. Because the 100 takes so much out of them, they need the 0 to balance that. So the amount of time that they're actually attacking is not that much time. They're getting a huge amount done in those attacking moments, but then they go back to sleep. That's the basic idea of how hunters are. Now contrast this with a farmer. A farmer's output is going to be very low, but a little bit more. Maybe it's 20%, maybe it's 30%, but it's for long hours, day in, day out. They're planting seeds, so it's not the same as attacking, which is like 100% of your energy. It's just planting seeds. It's, it's light work. It's just a little seed here, a little seed there. So, 20-30% of your maximum capacity of what you could do. But it's long hours every day, day in, day out, year upon year. Maybe not many breaks, in fact. Could these two styles be more different? No, they are so different. So if you're trying to squeeze yourself into a job with the wrong style, it's extremely stressful for both you and the company because it's like, this isn't working. So let's look at examples of that. An office job, most of the time it's going to be more farmer-ish if they're expecting you to like work in a cubicle, come in at 8 o'clock every day, have the same long hours every day, and they're going to expect you to sit at your desk and 20-30%, right? Okay, I'm typing an email. This is not the same as like attacking with 100% energy, but I'm putting out some energy. Okay, I'm lightly filing, I'm putting, it's all pretty light work. Well, not light work, but it's light in terms of the energy that you're putting out. So if you're a hunter in a job like that, it will be extremely stressful because trying to pretend to be working at a 20-30% capacity is going to like zap all your energy. You're gonna have to kind of act like an actor and be like, okay, look at me doing my 20%, but you're not really gonna be doing your 20% because you naturally operate at 0 or 100. Now I'm a hunter, and this was a problem that I had. It was very hard for me to like pretend to be like everybody else in those types of jobs. And often what I would do is I would like be at 0. So I'd be like just sitting there zoned out. And then I would attack a project and I would get it done like super, super fast. And then I'd go back to 0 and just have to like zone out kind of, because that's how I work. I work at 0 or 100. The in between just isn't there for me. And so the benefit of that was I got like a huge amount of work done compared to the other people because I can do the 100 really well. But it was not only exhausting because they were expecting me to like do the 100% all the time, but also I didn't have the ability to take my nap or something that a lion naturally would, or a tiger would, or whatever. So, just trying to be at 100 all the time is not possible, and you're going to burn out. And so when that started happening, I started kind of burning out. I would end up like zoning out the whole day, doing nothing, because I just couldn't even think straight. And then I would take my work home with my laptop, and I would attack my work, and I would do like everything and more in like a few hours that evening. So it wasn't a problem really, because the company liked how much work I was doing, but for me it wasn't really ideal. And that's no one's fault, right? That's just like a fit thing. So now let's look at the alternative. Let's say we have a hunter job. There are office jobs that are hunter jobs. It really just depends on your company and what your boss is like and what they expect of you and that kind of thing, how much freedom they give you. If you're in a hunter job, there will tend to be less like, check-ins and checking up on you, and you just have a lot more freedom, but you're expected to hit certain goals somehow and just like make it happen. And it has a huge sense of urgency. Oh my God, the urgency. That is extremely stressful for farmers, because farmers like the 20-30%. They don't like being forced to just jump up to 100% and save the world in the next 10 minutes, and then you can take a break and go get some chips. That will not make a farmer feel comfortable. The farmer wants to know the schedule, to know what's expected, and to just slowly chip away at those goals day in, day out, the same as that farmer, planting their seeds or whatever it is farmers do. I don't really know that much about what farmers do, but they're riding on their tractor, right? They're not like going into battle or something, which is more of like a hunter level of energy output. So if you have an office job and everything's urgent, it's like you might not hear anything for a while, and then all of a sudden it's just like, we have this huge project, it's urgent, we have to get it done in like the next few minutes, and like the whole company is gonna go bankrupt if we can't we have to do this now. For a hunter, yeah, that's a little stressful, but it might actually be a little bit more exciting. It might be like, oh, okay, I'll jump in, I'll get this done ASAP, and you put everything else aside and you just attack that goal. And if you have like also a hunter boss or a hunter type company, they're really going to celebrate that and be like, yes, we won this project. Yes, this is amazing. And then it will be like, take the rest of the day off. That was exhausting, but we got through it. We got what we needed done. That's a win. For a farmer, that's going to be horrible. Just terrible. And they're going to sit there thinking like, when is that going to happen again? So the farmer is going to want to calmly chip away at their goals, know that, okay, I have a meeting on Monday, on Wednesday, and Friday, and I'm going to give my status report, and it's all going to be very like chillax. So these two styles, like, it's not that you can't work together if you understand what the person's style is and you're accepting of that. But if you don't get that and you have different styles, it can be like catastrophic in a company, because the farmer can see the hunter as just lazy, because they're just sitting there like not doing anything, because they're waiting to attack something with 100%. Remember, it's 0 to 100, like nothing in the middle. But then they'll look at the farmers who are like, look, I'm doing 20% of my energy level. Look, I'm moving things. I'm looking at papers. I'm filing. Okay. And they're going to be like, what a great worker. They're working hard. And this person is just taking a nap. Bad hunter. And the same can go for the other style. Like, a hunter boss can look at a farmer and be like, why won't they jump into action when I need them to jump into action? Why won't they rise to the occasion when this work emergency happens and we need someone to really jump in and attack it. And they'll look at the farmer and just like, they're just, and they might have a sense of, why don't you have a sense of urgency like I do? Which is terrible for a farmer who's like, I'm working so hard. I've been working day in and day out. I've been putting in long hours. But they're going to come across as more chillax and calm and that kind of thing. I mean, not always calm. It's like anyone can be stressed out, but farmers typically have kind of that calmer personality in general because they're putting 20-30% of their energy output out. They're not using 100% of their capacity. So when you know that these two styles exist, it's really helpful, because if you're working with other people and you can see the style in them, you can kind of find a way to work that out where it benefits both people. Of course, some people are just lazy of any style, and they might just be like, oh, I'm just wasting the day because I don't care. And that's a different issue. If they're not getting any work done at all, that's of course a problem. But you can sort of cater to these styles and have it work out better. So for instance, I'm a hunter. So if I'm working with someone who's a farmer, I will remind myself, don't put too much pressure on them. Try to give them more time to do something that maybe I would do way faster, but don't put that sense of urgency onto them. Don't be like, oh my gosh, we've got to do this right now. Okay, we have like 1 hour. Be like, okay, you know what? Let's think this through, schedule in more time, and then tell them, okay, this needs to get done. Take your time. I know it's hard for hunters because we want everything now, but take your time, because farmers, when they know that they can take their time, they tend to do an awesome, amazing job. And they tend to be very thorough and methodical. I mean, think of how hunters are. They tend to be good with planning, long-term planning, right? Farmers have to think ahead. Sometimes they have to think ahead years into the future and analyze all these things. And okay, the soil in 3 years is going to be different than the soil now. So what do we have to do to make sure we can still grow stuff? Okay, and they have it all planned out. It's all literally plotted out. Plotted is plots of land. It's like a farming word, right? So there's a lot of great strengths there that if you're a hunter, you might forget that they have these amazing strengths, but they don't want to be rushed, and they're going to do that 20-30% of their capacity, not the 100. So don't get frustrated if they don't seem to be at the same energy level that you are as a hunter. And then if you are a farmer and you're working with hunters, don't be frustrated with them if they're not day in, day out, sitting by your side, working away. They might take a nap, come back, attack something like crazy, and then zone out again. But when they do attack, the amount of work they're going to be able to get done is like huge. It's way more than a farmer could get done in that amount of time. Just huge amounts of work will happen very, very fast. And when they're not working and they're doing their nap, chillax, whatever, they are still thinking about that work. So they are sort of plotting a bit the way that an animal stalks its prey, right? They're waiting also for the right moment to attack, because that matters too. So there is strategy in being a hunter as well. Both of the types have strategy, but a hunter and a farmer are very different strategies, right? So if you're a farmer and you're working with a hunter, try to not take it personally if they're not sticking to the same schedule, right? Oh my gosh, they didn't come to work exactly 8 o'clock like I did. They must not respect the company. Well, no, maybe they're just a hunter and they're willing to give their all and get even more work done than maybe a farmer. But they want that structure. So you can give them more freedom and be very clear about the outputs that you want. right? Stuff like, okay, come in whenever you want, work however you want. At the end of the day, these 5 things have to be done. And if you could get to it, if you could do these 10, that'd be even better. A hunter will like attack that. I mean, as long as they're good at what they do. Obviously, there's a lot of individual factors. You can have a lazy person who's a hunter or a farmer, right? You can have someone with personality disorders. I have a lot of other videos on like narcissists, for example. That's a separate issue. So be careful not to merge those 2 things in your mind. Like if you've known a narcissist, very lazy, not all narcissists are lazy, by the way, either. But let's say they are a narcissist and they are lazy and they are a hunter or a farmer. Don't assume that they're all that way just because you knew one person like that. But be very clear with a hunter of what you want. Tell them what the deadline is. Deadlines, hunters will really try to meet those deadlines and they're often energized by the deadline. The farmer is more like stressed out by deadlines, oh no. But it's not such a big deal because they have it all plotted out, right? So, okay, this project is due in 2 weeks, so I'm gonna, work on it for 4 hours a day, and they'll be pretty comfortable with that. But if it's a last minute urgent deadline, that will freak them out. So, be careful of the farmers that you don't stress them out that way. And the hunters, be careful you don't stress them out by giving them too many rigid things. And like if they need to give you a progress report of everything they've done every hour, that's going to be very draining for a hunter because they just don't work that way. So that's a hard thing. And it's not that, it's not that we can't do things like that, but I found when I look at how I work and I write down what I do every hour, it's kind of all over the place. It's not in a like methodical way of, well, first I did this and then I did that and then I finished it. It's sort of like just sort of an explosion of this and that and then I get it all done. So I just think it's a super useful thing to know, and especially if you're going to get a new job, it's something you want to know about is, not just the culture of the company, but how do they want you to work? Do they want you to have a lot of structure and check-ins and you need to report back what you did with every piece of time and kind of long hours, but 20% of your capacity? Or do they want you to, attack things, but sort of more on your own timeline, and they don't really care when you do what, just end result. They want to have this done by this time. That's much more preferable for a hunter. Same goes if you're going to start your own business or work for yourself and a freelance kind of thing. This is so helpful to know, because otherwise you're going to start beating yourself up that you're not doing it the way other people are. Right? If you look at advice for entrepreneurs, a lot of it is kind of catered towards hunters, which makes sense because a lot of hunters do go into business for themselves, right? It's like, attack your goal and that's great if you're a hunter, but if you're a farmer, it's not gonna really resonate, and you might even worry like, oh, maybe I'm not meant to be an entrepreneur because I don't want to attack everything. I want to have things slow and methodical and thought out and chip away. And either type can be an awesome entrepreneur, but you've got to know what those strengths are, and it can make a great team too. But you've got to understand and respect those differences and not get mad at that person for not being like you are. So the farmers have to chillax a bit and not take it so personally if the hunters are a bit late or a bit scattered or not working on the same timeline. Like, you want to work on things in order, and they're working on the last step first, and you're like, what? Why are you doing it? That's not the right way to do it. You have to kind of let go of that, let them be the wild animal they are. And then same for the hunter, don't try to get that farmer to have that sense of urgency that you do and go attack something. Let them kind of stay behind and maybe do the accounting and, file everything away and chip away at that and make plans for your, filing your future taxes for the next 5 years, look ahead and make all your spreadsheets and research all of that and have that all nice and perfect and filed. That's like perfect for a farmer. And then the hunter is out just attacking various things with a high energy sort of attack way, and then comes back and like falls asleep. That can be a really beautiful team if you understand and respect those differences, because both are bringing totally different strengths to the picture. But if you don't understand that, then you might not be able to work with someone with a different type like that, and you might keep thinking, why are they trying to ruin my life? Like the farmer might look at the hunter and say, man, they're all over the place. They're inconsistent. They can't stick to anything. They seem lazy to me. But at the end of the day, the hunter may have gotten 4 times more stuff done than the farmer. So look at their output and judge them by that. How much did they actually get done? Did they get things moving? Did they make a bunch of progress? Those are hunter things to be valued. And then don't look at the farmer and think, well, they're not even trying. They're not even trying to go out and attack our business. They're just sitting there typing all day long. They're just typing, and they've been working on that boring spreadsheet for the last 4 days. Just come on, we've got a business here. We have to go attack it. We have to go talk to these people, and so that's a big difference. But I mean, the world needs both, right? We need both of these types of people. Otherwise, the world wouldn't run very well, right? If everyone was attacking everything, no one would be home making the spreadsheets. And if everyone was making the spreadsheets, we wouldn't get things moving and have that progress of going out and attacking things. So it's super helpful to know. And if you're not sure which you are, you can just sort of start thinking about how you tend to schedule things in your day and become aware of how much energy you're putting out there into tasks that you do and projects that you do. And hunters also, once hunters attack something, we tend to want to finish it right then. We just want to do the whole shebang all at once. And so we can be kind of impatient, but when we have attacked something, we will just keep working on it. We will keep working on it like tirelessly at that high level, which is exhausting. And farmers, like I said, don't like to work that way. They want to work with less energy, but they'll put in maybe a lot of hours. Maybe they'll do like a 12-hour day, but it's done in a way that's pretty relaxing, low energy. Maybe they have some music playing, or they're filing and they're listening to a podcast, and it's just kind of a more relaxed thing. So I actually am writing a Kindle Vella book right now. It's called Attack Goals, Not Yourself by Julianne Malillo. It's on Kindle Vella, and I use the lion because I'm a hunter, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a hunter, by the way, because this is for everybody. It's basically how to life coach yourself. So if you go to Kindle Vella, which not many people know about this yet because it's separate from the rest of the Kindle books, if you go to your regular Amazon page, and then you go to like the section that has the Kindle books, it has a whole separate thing you click on for Kindle Vella, and then you can just type in Attack Your Goals, Not Yourself, and you can read this. I have 5 chapters up so far. The first 3 are free, so you can actually get some free advice there. So that's what it looks like on Kindle Vella. And I have my best coaching tips and just how to actually do it, how to actually coach yourself. And the reason that I did this was I was thinking a lot of people want a life coach but just can't afford it, right? Not everybody is already an entrepreneur or a financial trader or, doing something where you can afford a coach. And, it's kind of like an Olympian is going to have a sports coach. Obviously, they all do. But what if you're just a normal person who wants to get in amazing shape too, but you can't afford like an Olympic coach because you're not an Olympian, right? It's sort of like that. But then how do you ever become an Olympian if you don't have an Olympic coach, right? It's like this catch-22. So I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my best tips, because I've coached for 15 years. I'm listed as one of the top coaches in NYC by expertise.com, and I have been for I don't even know how many years, at least 5 years now. I've been in a bunch of media with my coaching. My coaching advice is in 2 books, traditionally published books. I have a chapter in 2 different books of my coaching advice. And I'm giving you guys my best tips so that you can start with where you're at and then build. And then down the road, who knows, you might be able to afford a life coach, because then you get to higher and higher levels. So if you ever want to work with me in the future, you can go to yourdreamslifecoach.com and fill out the form, and there we'll see if we're a good match for coaching. So I also have in this book, I have the main life areas that you can look at and start thinking about the things you want to improve. And the whole idea of this is doing the life coaching on yourself, like being your own coach, learning to do that, but not attacking yourself, because that's one of the main things that stop all of us from attacking our goals. Is you start attacking yourself and you're like, oh, what am I doing? I don't know how to do that yet. I'm not an expert in that. How would I even start a business? How would I even become an artist? Am I even any good at that? Or there's so many other people doing that. Doesn't everyone want to do that? We all have thoughts like this. And then you can start attacking yourself and be like, oh, well, I can be lazy sometimes if you're a hunter, or sometimes I struggle to just get going and attack things if you're a farmer, right? And everybody loves certainty. As humans, we will choose what we know over what we don't every time, because we're just humans and that's just what humans do. It's a nature thing. It's safer to choose what you know. It's also less energy output to have to reinvent the wheel every time. And all those factors can make it easy to just not do the dreams that you want to do. So that was my goal in writing this, is to help you figure out how to do that. And I have activities too at the ends of the chapter, so you can actually get started doing things. It's not just all like, oh, in theory, isn't this interesting? Because there's so much of that out there where it's like, yeah, that's interesting, but like, what do I do with that information? So I have activities you can do as well. And as I said, the first 3 chapters are free. And I don't know if Amazon is still giving away the free tokens, because Kindle Vella, the way that it works is you buy these tokens and then you can literally buy only the chapters you want. So if you don't even want to buy every single chapter, you could just buy the ones you wanted to. I suggest buying all of them though, because they all kind of fit together and they're all useful in this. And I'm going to be continually writing and adding to this. I have no idea how long it's going to be. I might even just keep it going, almost like a blog where I can just give you more and more tips. So these are the 5 that I have up here so far. The first one is a disclaimer, just to make sure that you're in a good place to coach yourself, which is really important, because you want to think about your mental health first. And if that is needing some help or work, therapy would be the place to go, number 1. And then you can always come back to this later on. And then chapter 2, I have attack your goals and how to do that. And number 3 is how to stop attacking yourself, which is so important, because if you're attacking yourself, you can't attack your goals. And it's one of the most common things that I've seen in the last 15 years. And we all do it. We all hold ourselves back in various ways. And number 4 is building a blueprint of your dreams, which is where you discover what you want. And number 5, we're creating a vision board. And from here on out, I'm going to be giving you everything else as well. All the how-to and the nitty-gritty details of how to do it, with step-by-step directions or coaching questions at the end of the chapter. So if you want to check that out, please do. And as I said, the first 3 chapters are free. Just sign into your regular Amazon account that you would use to just buy something on Amazon. And you can also just Google Kindle Vella. It's Kindle and it's Vella. And it will come up and you can put it in the search box. Attack Your Goals, Not Yourself. And if you would like the chapters, if you don't mind, or if you would review it, that's awesome, because this is brand new. I just put this up here like a day or 2 ago. So I only have 10 likes so far. So hopefully that will grow soon. So anyway, I hope you guys like this video of the hunter versus the farmer. Let me know which one you think you are in the comments. I'm curious to hear if you know which style you are, and if you have noticed how that's affected you, whether it's in work or other areas of life. This could even affect you in how you organize your closet or how you plan your social plans. It can affect you in any area of life. I'm curious to hear if people have had conflict maybe with others due to that. And check out Attack Your Goals, Not Yourself. And thanks for watching, guys. And if you do like the video, please like the video and subscribe too. I have a bunch of other videos as well on other topics. I have playlists for all my different videos. If you're only interested in one thing, I have a playlist for my self-development life coaching type videos like this one. I have other playlists for personality types, which is also super important for understanding yourself and your strengths. I have another playlist on narcissism, which is really helpful to understand, especially for working with people who might have narcissism, and just understanding that it's not personal and it's just that's how their brain is. I also have ASMR, which I need to do more of. I haven't done that in a while now. I don't even remember what my other ones are on. You know, I'm an ENFP personality type, so it's a little bit all over the place. But yeah, figure out your personality type too. It can really help as well in your self-development, knowing just how you think. It doesn't tell you everything about yourself, but it's sort of like knowing if you're left-handed or right-handed. You know if you're going to sit at a dinner table where it's going to be more comfortable so you're not hitting your arm into people. That's how I think of personality types. It helps you to kind of make your decisions in a way that's going to be a little more comfortable for you. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.